Hey everyone, in this video I want to talk to you about how to become more confident, which this is probably one of the most important topics out there. And this video is actually kind of a remake because I originally touched on this subject within the first 20 videos that I ever did. So I wanted to make a more recent version of this because this is such an important topic. So in this video I'll share with you some tips that will help you develop confidence in your own life. And the first one is to know yourself. This is incredibly important because if you want to be truly confident, then you have to know who you are. There's no way around it. You can't be completely confident and centered in yourself if you don't even know who you are. So the important thing to practice here is to ask yourself the question, who am I? And to answer it as honestly as possible. And do that as much as possible. I would say you should do it on a daily basis. It only takes less than 5 minutes. I used to practice this daily as soon as I woke up before going to college. So this was a while ago. But the benefits are long lasting because me taking the time to get to know myself back then, it's paid off even up till now where I don't practice this as much as I used to. So set aside time. I'd say you should try to do it right when you wake up or before going to bed because that's when you have time. And basically ask yourself, who am I? And then just list off your character traits or qualities that you have, skills that you have that make you who you are. So for example, when I used to do this, it would be, who am I? And I'd say, well, let's see, I'm caring, I'm honest, I'm loyal, I'm authentic, I'm confident, so on and so forth. You're just listing things that describe you. You're getting to know yourself. So you need to be honest. Do not lie to yourself. This isn't a wish list of traits that you wish you had. So don't say things that you don't already have. But you're basically just getting to know yourself because it's so important. So now on to the next one. Ground yourself. This is another huge one because it's a lot easier to be confident when you're grounded and centered in yourself. Grounded people are hard to phase. They're hard to knock off course. So the way to become more grounded is to meditate, to basically do anything that helps you become more in your body and get out of here because being up here creates problems. That's why a lot of people who aren't super confident, they're not grounded because they're thinking way too much. When you're thinking a lot, it builds anxiety and stress, and those things just aren't precursors to confidence. So you want to get more in your body, feeling your emotions, feeling your connection to everything around you. I even have heard people say you want to feel your feet touching the ground because that's almost like your connection to the earth itself. And I know that sounds kind of woo-woo in some senses. It's I guess pretty spiritual of a concept, but there is something to that. So just get more in your body. It helps immensely. So if you don't know how to meditate, definitely do a Google search or find some YouTube videos that can teach you how. But what I actually did in my own life, I like to do what I call a kind of active form of meditation, although it's not really an exercise version, so it's not active in that regard. But more so what I mean is it's something you can do at any time, at any place. What I literally do is I just focus on breathing deeply as often as possible throughout the day. In fact, I do it before making these videos so that I can become grounded before I even begin them. So what I do is I'll breathe in through my nose and then I'll push my belly out. That engages your diaphragm and allows you to breathe a lot more deeply. And then when I breathe out, I suck my belly in and breathe out through my nose. That's a proper way of breathing. It helps reduce stress and anxiety just because you're literally breathing the way we were meant to before we got too stressed out from our daily lives and started breathing more shallowly. So when you do that, your goal should be to do it as slowly as possible, but so that it's still comfortable. You don't want to be basically holding your breath or anything like that where you start to develop discomfort, but you want to slow down. So I will actually count to 10 when I breathe in, which actually gives you time to hold your breath for a tiny bit at the end, but not like you're trying to stay underwater without drowning. No, not any of that. So you don't need to go that long. But I'll count to 10, which usually gives me about 4 seconds or so of holding my breath at the top. And then when I breathe out, I'll count to around 6 or so. And I literally will just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not like I'm counting the seconds per se. I'm literally just counting normally. And that helps me immensely. It truly helps ground me. I would actually say the most important part is where you hold your breath at the top for maybe around 2 to 3 seconds, because there's just something about that. I don't know the exact biomechanics of it, but I wager it's just you're allowing your body to literally utilize the oxygen you just breathe in. So it helps. But anyway, on to the next thing. Do difficult things more often. This is a huge one for building confidence because it literally allows you to figure out your own capabilities so you can start trusting yourself to do difficult things. A lot of people are kind of afraid of leaving their comfort zone, and that will make you lose a ton of confidence because you'll get to a place where you don't even know what you're capable of, and you're probably going to know that you're not capable of most difficult things. And that lack of trust in yourself is going to make you unconfident. So, the workaround, of course, is to just leave your comfort zone more often, do more difficult things, say yes to more requests that scare you to some extent. If somebody wants you to write some crazy business proposal for them or something and you've never done it before, just say yes and figure out how to do it along the way. Just do more difficult things. If somebody wants to go on a 10-mile hike with you and you don't feel like you're completely in shape for that, just say yes and figure it out along the way. Although in that case that is a bit extreme because that would be kind of tough to do. But still, do more difficult things. It just basically conditions you to become more confident over time because you're pushing your limits, you're leaving your comfort zone, and you're developing that confidence and knowledge of your own capabilities. So that's another incredibly important part as well. Now the next one. This is a really fun one for me because it's something I kind of practiced unintentionally in high school, but fix your posture. This is engaging bodily confidence, which of course affects your mind because the mind and body are not separate entities. They're very much connected. So if you're walking around like this all the time and you've got that forward posture and you're slumped over, that is not confident. That is naturally going to make you feel less confident going throughout the day because you're literally throwing off your body. You're not exuding confidence in a bodily manner. So fix your posture. And a great way of doing this is just exercising more often, going to the gym and lifting weights. Deadlifts are actually one of the best exercises for fixing your posture because they kind of force you to have good posture once you learn the proper form on how to do them. And then as you do them more often and get stronger, your posture is going to be good. But I have a tip here that will help you. So just throughout the day, remind yourself to bring your shoulders up, back, and down. This makes you way more confident because now you're forced to stand more upright. It naturally, even if you try it right now, I'm sure you'll feel more confident just doing that simple thing. So I used to actually practice this in high school. I would remind myself to go up, back, and down, and it made me more confident. In fact, some of the other kids at the time thought that I was arrogant or full of myself because of the way I carried myself with good posture. So that's pretty funny how some people confuse confidence with arrogance. And by the way, when you do become more confident, you are going to have to get used to that. But the important thing to remember is people who are confident can recognize confidence in others. It's only the people who haven't worked on themselves who will ever think that you're arrogant for that. So don't even worry about people misconstruing that or misinterpreting your confidence for arrogance. It doesn't matter. Just let it go. But anyway, back to posture. Posture is really important. They even say before you go into job interviews to have wide body posture because it makes you more confident. So literally spreading out. So if you're sitting in a chair, just leaning back, having your arms out wide, that sort of thing. It just makes you more confident. So always remember that your posture is important. Your mind and your body are connected. So when you have more confident posture, you're going to be more confident up here as well. So now on to the next one. Work on being healthier. This is huge. I should actually say work on being more physically fit than healthy, but they go hand in hand. If you're healthy, you're probably going to be fit. Because the important part with this one is the more fit you are, the more you're probably going to be confident because you're going to like the way you look. And this is an important thing. It's way harder to be confident in yourself if you don't like the way you look. And you need to work on that by just being more healthy, eating right, going to the gym, exercising more often, if you aren't proud of the way you look, you can fix that. That's not something that you can't do anything about. Like, your weight is something you can change. So work on becoming more physically fit, and I guarantee you'll gain a lot of confidence out of it. There truly is something to that. I mean, when guys go to the gym, all of them know that after a certain amount of time, you gain an immense amount of confidence. There's just something about it where you're seeing the progress you're making, you're watching how you can lift heavier and heavier weights over time, and you're watching the changes in your body where you're getting more physically fit, and it just makes you more confident. Not to mention there's all the mind benefits from it as well, the mindset stuff that you get. So just be more fit. It helps as well. I mean, there's nothing to lose from working on your health. But anyway, on to the final one. This is another big one, and it is don't compare yourself to others. I put this one at the bottom because it's kind of, once you know yourself and practice some of these other things, you naturally won't really compare yourself to others as much anymore because you're going to be more grounded in yourself, and practicing other things will naturally make you more confident as well. And when you're more confident, you kind of just won't care as much what other people think of you because you're going to know yourself. You're going to have trust in yourself, and you're going to value yourself and know that know your worth. I'm speaking too quickly here. And when you know your worth, you aren't going to want to compare yourself to others because why does it matter? You know what you bring to the table, and you know that you're unique from everyone else. So don't compare yourself to others. It will help you build confidence. This is one of those things that, yeah, it's kind of funny because it's both a precursor to confidence and kind of a consequence, or I don't know the proper word, but it's basically a product. There we go. A product of confidence as well. So it's a precursor to it because when you don't compare yourself to others, you'll naturally become more confident. But it's also a product of confidence because the more confident you are, you naturally aren't going to compare yourself to others. And a really quick short story here about my own life. I actually used to play football in high school, and I used to compare myself to everyone back then because I was insecure, and I was really tiny. I was probably like 5'2" or 5'4", and this was my freshman and sophomore years of high school. I was really small, so naturally, because of my lack of size, I was one of the smallest guys on the team. Literally, I think I was in the bottom 3 for sure, and I don't quite know where I ranked in that bottom 3. I think I was like either the second weakest or maybe even completely the weakest person on the team. So this created an interesting opportunity because I learned very early on not to compare myself to others because everyone on the football team was stronger than me. So there was no point comparing myself to any of them. I was the smallest guy. The only way I could compare was with my legs. I had strong legs because I grew up walking to school for basically every single school that I went to, from elementary school to high school. I walked to all of them. I was grateful enough to live close enough to all of them, so I was able to walk to them. So I had strong legs, but that was it. I couldn't compare to the guys in any other way. They were all way stronger than me. So that taught me not to compare myself to others. I learned to just start comparing myself to who I was yesterday and trying to be stronger than that guy. And that helped immensely with gaining confidence because I just stopped caring. And once I graduated high school and college and got back into the gym later on, I noticed that I wasn't comparing myself to other guys at the gym either because, yet again, from those early days in the high school football team, there was no point in comparing myself to them because I just learned not to by then. I learned that the gym is a game that you play with yourself. And if you get caught up on comparing yourself to every other guy there, you're either going to lose motivation or gain it from other people. But in both cases, that's fleeting motivation. It's going to die out, especially if you find people who are bigger than you and you start losing motivation because, oh my God, this guy who's been working out for 20 years of his life can bench 200 more pounds than you. Well, of course, if he's been working out that much longer than you, what are you expecting? And that's why there's no point in comparing yourself to other people because nobody has lived the life that you have, nobody has done all the things that you have, and nobody is you. So only compare yourself to who you were yesterday and strive to be better than that person. And when you do that, you'll naturally become so much more confident because you'll stop comparing yourself to people who are living different lives than you. It's like comparing apples to oranges. There's just no point in it. But anyway, I truly hope this video has helped you, and I'll actually give you a quick little summary on what these pieces are again. So it's know yourself, ground yourself, do more difficult things, fix your posture, work on becoming more fit, and then don't compare yourself to other people. When you practice all these things, I guarantee you they will make you more confident in your own life. But anyway, I truly hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!